mani pouch so da nom na Ghana ye na ekoko no a antioxidant wo mu na da aumenti na ewo ho no kai so say entena ase so obeyare ansa na wakwa hwe yare anu aduro Amin Scientific Eva Hospital wo honom so obetimi aboa wo massage o den yo preventive ayi bebre wo honom obetimi de amoa aboa de bia na hoden e honom kona ko check BP ko check sugar ko check jonso kidney ni ade nyina se ahoden wo ho ana wo chi usisi ye ma amene mo amutu dwom ayi tema habo fishing habo for me num ni ade kwase adwa asofo domi market agbogboro shi mo che se usisi sa de bia do usisi mo na ntekọ amen na doctor fo no miamia wo ne ade nhwe ba bia udompe no achia na che se entente ne ma wo de bia wo ho a ahoden ko a amen Herbal Hospital allow chafi omo Sprinters Road ho na afi so ko yekumase takrade anaji che se ba bia ho boga doma wa atebu ene tamale ba bia amen Herbal Center ewo ehonom. From one number was 020-722-9505 and 0244-227-197. Udu amen. I'll say yes. Na sre best reaction ne said ebeju wa two no kra na be ma bibia wo te woni pedium no etu akọ yenko ne yenkotwe Ghana say me aso nim say and the Supreme Court the ruling beba say be ye say nye say EC Electoral Commission ebe kọ adaka nim ana so nkọ adaka nim ne ni nyina etu betwa amye hu say the 70 that election petition no aso na ye kono sanso na covid year abe vaccines aba ewa abrochi enro Minister of Health designate or call appointment committee nanim no say wo mo koje vaccines 355,000 ye de aba be manipa wo nipa empem opepem aduonu 20 million na ebusa calculation ben ene wom tie na ni nyina ebe kan wasem na opening kese Alhaji Nasiru Mohammed National Communication Officer ema NDC Zongo Kokoso okay ho e wo studio ha say sanso na ye nua be ma Dennis Kwakwa Ashanti Regional Youth Organizer ema MPP for mienu be boa ya me atesem nso tifia wo hu the balance discussion now so afa mu aba si ugina ye se de wa no open no penifo anope ye ma kwa ba ye mo acheso
ye nua
seboko de
alhamdulillah Vim about on the media no Z and yeah S.
So no me and Z.
No, most of the people know S. But my own say I'm for I've cautioned me say I should correct it so that enka ho. Me media no Z na zero. Meaning the warner. The warner. Na zero meaning the helper.
Oh, sir.
Two different.
I see.
Yeah.
The warner chese, una warning, una bokoko.
No. It's an attribute to the Prophet Muhammad. Oh. Say or warning against the judgment day. That's all the meaning of that. So you are the warner. You understand?
That's a name di nketwa. Dia attributed to Prophet Muhammad.
Oh, they are say the Muslim you know. Most of the time they do it as title. Yeah. Then we keep reminding ourselves we did Naziru. Yeah.
Na unu akwakwa senko ye kremoni anka din be na be ma no.
Ono no me hwe ne pa. Met to me amano Isa. Eni Alhaji Kwakwa Isa. Ebe fata opa.
Some kremoni. Be Kristo de so.
Emo ko so e Kristo ni anka din be na be ma no.
We je tax obedi.
Ejoba man dey. Zakios.
So why would it one more wedi tax one more we
punch like ban wa punch
oh they me grow hu you say agro nyi fom anabogwa so maybe say question you be hu nipa wedi tax is ya ye go bi ya within the next 5 minutes you be hu nipa wedi tax
Isa na Zakios is like Naziru yanko common so any area kwakwa say kumasi free boko there
oh nyame adaro ma ho ase na me hu me na na mo ma hene na na mo ma hene asante mai da na se apart from the way a munyina mo hwe bi na koko nsensem no kumase ene asante mai market ankasa e develop do no otumfo akoma wo be ona da no
oh sir
represent ahemfie nti enye we nkwa na oyeboa Ghana oba asante mai mo oye bebre ye da na se kumase boko me den chia free wate kokko so ho ene asante mai nyina wontumi chia na wa host chaba wontumi da
oh I don't wontumi the radio me na me hosting is
okay yeah for na bet so no show pen hwe So who some more na ya na. Aha, ofili.
Show pension na want to me anya show NDC won NDC vote omunya na Ashanti region.
Na wonim de oka.
Guy amuye nyina NDC show wa Ashanti region.
Ne show pension pa.
Mu show wa Ashanti region.
If you say asoma okay. Asoma okay MPP ni bi o hwa no fa bi ano nya aja.
Azaho. O na say nya force o.
Unto me the over MPP vote for 900,000. 900,000 I know you know
900,000 year baby
2012
how no they call
1.65
1.65 and 2020
or the bar 1.795
na say dey tie eno no kan there's automatic
population
growth population growth it is not necessarily in terms of percentage or the year between 2012 and 2016 any percentage or the bar 2020 na
other 90 for the other 90
member NDC
question wa
Ashanti region
me busa other this dia na omanya no nti the this nya the other and the population growth no fa ntoto ho I don't muso nya na Ashanti no
oh but say the margin
so not just say nya wuntumi sheshe na wantumi amfa nya aduma
me kan sheshe wona ka sheshe
so wona wo ka say we show pension kan wo ye but say population growth because of my MPP dia almost because of mo Onim say
Ashanti region the no go area for NDC
but na say for the first time yeah really see to hohoi we free say Ghana politics o can say benya bi voter region ka be
you've not to young
democracy
you are specific about
back up there be any new advice for na make we see back up na e oti kramu you know
no normal say o maji new advice transfer from 1992 and again 2016 what you say and when Thomas said to me agent back 2020 nti agro no ye kwa anim no voters no so mo dynamic o mo ntefa akon do ba ansam no se do be chechire mu se do be hu ne ma afa and nti ende abotreba de nimpa na sa Ashanti region through to me any party for deliver power man PP and only ade pa e de bu man na do for se
2024 no
2020 about to
okay
2020
let's say who to mesa contest be mo ho
eno de edru ha ona be declare na party for decide say ona beto aso na de yeah can dey to me aye na 2020
okay alani na zero remember so but me person make a quick comment about zongo because na me busa ni dey akumasi be mu baby ofree no ti yenhwe zongo
it's a very very obvious before the election MPP for Nkasa and a call bets. One more change constituencies of Mubeti in the Ashanti region. And indeed, the tension in Azawasi. The make or break seat for Ashanti region. Indeed.
Well, Ashanti region, Ashanti
no. It was a make or break. And no, and I'm won't to me and in a pump for. At the tongue class, one more koji seat, Atras anti mine say NPP, Ayas anti mine ADNT, Obian to be better. I mean, those are the ultras they made. One more catching in the Ayawaso North, Ayawaso East, Ayanima, Newtown, Mamobi, Nediaka. They told us, I sat on a program with the National Nasara Coordinator Aziz. I moved around with the National Nasara Coordinator Aziz. May come to and I'm putting it to you and throwing a challenge to him. I have never met him on any campaign tree or used to the same car.
And Aziz.
I have never met him up and then me who no used to V8 or China me who no be before no used to V8. No, I'm telling you that the resources that was made available to him.
Okay.
The Zongo win was the most targeted for the MPP. Why? Young election, you heard some of the comments they made about Zongo. It was the most targeted because everything seems to be failing for them. One who's Ashanti region is shaky, you know. Let us enter the
Ashanti region is shaky.
No, indeed, and it has been proven. Now Ashanti region is shaky.
Increase your vote
and I say, why increase your vote? Why then the independent candidate that the Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo entire administration, everywhere in the constituency, a catch the constituency. For no say, me to me, and for Obi Biara on ye. MPP ni engagement. Anko one to man. Is that not a monumental failure? Then you have failure. I mean, this I reckon where you very visible, very tangible.
But it's saying isolated. Be quiet. You do why Jina as independent candidate. Yeah. Against the MPP candidate, your friend said Kufuor. And we need.
They say Kufuor.
At the time, party also can say.
They say Kufuor Mbongra be quiet. And can't you say? One on me empire independent
Oh no, they said it.
No,
they said it. They said it. And yes, President Kufuor, but they said it that
but this is President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo, the Commander-in-Chief of the MPP and Commander-in-Chief of the Republic of Ghana. And I can ask him. To Miura. And I can say
many business with MPP for now.
Right?
So
No, that is not the case. I would even fault him. So one kwanko Juma with MPP for. I would fault him. I would fault him because that is what principle stands for. That is what Obi Biara Oye Yefen saying. Babunu. I also what Jenny Ehun say you are convinced beyond every reasonable doubt to say it is the service to the people. Yeah, always put your head forward.
Okay.
And God will make way for you. But the issue of Zongo Maka, I mean, there's not a single constituency in this country, apart from Hawaii, that is dominated by Zongo, our MPP for a winning seat. There's not. There's not.
Winning Zongo seat.
Catch me. Apart from Hawaii is dominated by Zongo again, and I'm to me a winning. And you know the problem with Hawaii up to now as we speak. There was section of people a young man one to a banibi. And you could change things there. So in America, and this is a challenge in America. Yemfra Aziz, Yemfra Dr. Muhammadu Baumia, Yemfra Mustafa Hamid, Wamona MPP for Jazongo Ma Wamuno Bubura Zongo, Echo Ma Yem problem, Omude resources, Sikako Gumu. I am throwing a challenge to the Montem Zongo. Wamu to be winning.
Okay.
That is how me to me a bomb once a man say a Jumana NDC for the year. The man, we have been able to execute it. That is it. Without resources, not even without resources.
But you were able to maintain where you in
yes, we've delivered.
Okay.
That is it.
Other issues. Also, what now can be not responding to you?
In the first, instance, Mami Chechim, maybe regional youth organizer, MPP. For an MP, my campaign as NPP candidate. In 2020, you didn't expect me to go and campaign for him.
As independent.
Because a parliamentary candidate. Now, because here, Mama Party is a party you will be, you don't expect me to go and campaign for an independent candidate. And whatever I stood on the platform to say against him was to make sure I said the party's candidate won.
So the even if the party are wrong or cry.
The party cannot be wrong because you have a party or the 2 national delegates in some. In the constituency, every time what your money power, person will party and so if they choose the candidate for you, you don't have to sit somewhere and say, "Oh, they want you in the band to man." And you go out as a leader, no support to or margin now because constituency, how many times does the president go to Formula in a year? What I say, and once we have a candidate president here, then I can't change one campaign independent candidate because your party symbol not the number. And party symbol na Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo Addo the president 2016. It was the same symbol na Philip Odeko MP in Formana and so any year so be campaign etiano. And until just let it go because the first time we be senior
and I make
independent candidates because now ma lose one ma biu no ma sa akwadwan no party because no lose no kwa another party and nyanwa. But and some of the kai na Zongo constituency be ya win be that go to the northern region, go to northeast. Into constituencies, take your time. They say now trying to tell us, Ujidi. Saying to all the northern regions, sit now, all the northeast sitting there, and they hold the Christians now. You want to believe that?
Take
your time.
Do
you want to believe that because we know me demography now?
No, it's not about
and so, may sad discussion, but I wouldn't just let it slip. May put 200 around. So she
will make it simple.
Oh, take your time, please.
These days, you beside someone. No, why is simple?
Oh, no,
one Karaga.
Please.
Name the Zongo to Karaga.
Okay.
To me, not try.
Yes,
so name the Zongos there. You were able to win.
I am only drawing your attention one day. So any Aziz veteran program. So my room say, it be Aziz information. What we want me no. Over an opportunity. Okay, no churches answer them say, but say, if you see here the arena here the Zongo ni ho. So I bet tonight you don't know because when them say more.
But indeed,
no, take your time. I
have great deal
but in 2016, look at Ghana and I say Ashanti and Muga winning 1 million votes. That's what I'm okay.
Okay.
Because he say 1,500,000 for 400,000.
Okay, that was 2016.
So dynamics we know the politics in America say dynamic. me no me no na nsama ye kan na de mprofo ehia omune no enya no na ochena ye kone ye koka behia enso no ma na nya de wadwuma wa ye no maybe o party for bebo abaso ho me try mbosto asem say de wa ye no bi nye bi because yeso seat bi a na mo gide se bi anka no den ready ne ba foforo ntumi nye especially ho boy na wa betena wo ka say ye nye really ba bia no wa exception na exception na de o koka wa de nye zongo dominated wo se ni nyina accept ne chere say ho na zongo dominated wa ntumi ane ho and to give us some credit abra so ma credit say what me improve from 160 to 137 but men you say the why no and on the Ghana politics away e be ko yanim e bia ba bia ye hwe ase ne be sorry ba bia also hwe ase bia na oni azizi shia na ma chechiri
because ushe 2016 and 2020 for instance some of the seats NDC munya at this time round na ye mu seat na mu lose to MPP in 2016 and am wasan abeje seats no e back into politics so it's true as some for instance Greater Accra region say oh lejo kuku ni ade say e change e bi swing ojia NDC baba beje back NDC gia MPP be san baba beje back it's very fair but it's also important say karaga any gushe for MPP to take it that's also a remarkable improvement over there. Just the total vote no share that because population no
anka say obi akoya campaign na wonya one vote kura no on yade I know what it means meaning what goes into it me ntira hanka
grounds person
mania and a bet na catch us say won to me na ye supernatural says is it not the one who raised the issue was he part of the discussion
don't miss it don't misinform your listeners
contesting it
he has a good ball that's not the point
won to me can boast of what he has done in Ashanti what they have done in MPP but me Alhaji Naziru me betina now be some question na me so me kan ya maya me the end me fa to nche
no
that is the impression is creating that is the impression is creating that's why did I sit here and be talking and say don't go that is the impression
me say
no any problem about my how can you speak
please
and even defend someone
me say na me ya wadom
na me make someone what say you go Brazil no onyamre na wa be yi ano because he cannot ontimi yi na no when dey tire small over ontimi ba ha dem katre pie
yam say dede hunu
that is aye dede hunu na make eno na ba me buafu me buafu speak what do you mean how what the can be am so why
please
me the can be am me from the
next time oba man kokoro na you see an boy
he have horns man
ohia kokoro ni bia no na do ye dia ohia kokoro numso na aja agba na chance so buafu numso de ka numso
o say to me say to me so be o say o feeling the body and to say okay this is how Kumasi boys
it is within his rights I say it's within his rights
exactly
it is within my rights to say Nyamekano if we don't have anything to dispute it we move on.
But I think the point
we can move on just like that.
The point he was also making it is the fact that on Shada Nim Zongo dynamics
when Bissame Karaga
Aziz in Nim
when Bissame Northern region Bissame specifically Zongo Zongo issue did I go bibi ko kasa apa bon Zongo the example I give you one didn't I add the fact is Zongo
exactly
and I say
I choose my
Zongo
I thought the cancer was young problem put Aziz on the line and tell me it should show you the Zongo is what this is a live program it should show you the Zongo is what MPP for munkoji musika mo de ko hu ho munkoji ni nyina ejuma bia ni wa ya ye Zongo ho
Aziz ho
okay yan kasa na wa hwa be say program was that the boy fu ya mama no koko ni bi senso so awon
you know
some na mo you see sometimes it's very painful you feel so bad
no I like it so feeling bad
it is politics but we move on we keep moving on say am kun papa But I'm expressing something.
Or your political opponent, or not to person can be there. They are not.
But we are not.
If you are there, me. My can be
a contest of ideas. If
you are can't
yeah, bounce a heckling.
Well, the heckling, whatever. I accept it. You move on, but to feel say somebody can say it, what someone cannot say it is what I will not take today.
I wish to say,
wherever I am, and I have something to say, I will say it.
I don't think his intention is to stop you.
I wish to say, me say program by the because of the me say he could be given the credit by his party. Because on the party analysis, no friends said all can why. I said it.
I said it. Resources
I know they I'm on a campaign strategy.
No, okay.
I know they say. Said you no can any party friends who deserve credit. But I wish. Okay, so Okofa Ashanti region.
No, but also on a track record no in terms of
me Many repository of all knowledge because I'm a regional youth organizer.
Say that.
I'm only saying
say you are going to investigate.
I might not have all the facts.
You are not a repository of knowledge, but you are able to tell the whole Ghana and Ashanti say who to me is the best. Are you a repository of knowledge? The whole world says who to me is the best. Are you a repository of knowledge?
You are crying. I think what is wrong with that? Nothing is wrong with it.
So you should keep quiet. Then let's move on.
Nothing is wrong with it. Oh, actually, come for. I also come for. I want to say you have worked. Don't go. So you are in your right. You are within your right. Don't worry, cry. You are on point. You're on point. And also the boss no beginning up. But I don't have any problem with it. Appointment committee and no assembly cost two people. Ministers designate. Yera Kandapa and Ajimamenu and on mobile. Now Ajimamenu ka vaccine no has so we could procure a 355,000 doses. And the ababe vaccinating nipa 20 million. And we didn't get the mass no very well. Why 355,000? But we can take the appointment committee vetting in totality. What do you think? Because there was an issue about 88 district hospitals which covered by it was a big issue. Also munyanya asase because land litigation and that was something he question, very fantastic question as something he ko busa you know. And then this frontier issue you contract there more airport, what kind of due diligence and they go through and say yeah more $150, you don't even know the discussion there will mami take views on say issue and say na Supreme Court and sense
if you be the chair sumbo ebema ahwefo and to some extent a team for I think the issues of health Abeyeni Owoho. Mekaisa on this program, Mebisa question of the 88 hospitals on countless occasions. Mepese mihu near AC afahu. Because one promise I had my sign catcher your mind timelines specific by the end of December. COVID of 2020. COVID a hawa a day ban. If he say anka yetumi eye bibi boa yaveze facilities na ye one ka be boa ye amampanyi e hye yemo ama ye nyina wo mo ebo usie se na menua no be kai ne yen hyebo na yen bo se na yen ye ho famfe ene eye February emu na ewo no yen hu sa 88 hospitals obia antumi enya ye fensen akukudu enka hwe nkire Nan ya na omampeni ekoginaye command the state of the nation's address. Inti se bibie ni wa obi aye na adwen se obeso odisi na ye dada ye tufuto engu yenima. Is it not fair say emre na omampeni gina oma the state of the nation address no. Wan kai enhu ni se o ka kire Ghana for say ma shebo se me besi 88 hospitals amamo. Na nka wa kire ye se hospitals no akodu say oh, me mom na me kasa nka by end of December me wie ba me ntumi wie D B C D nti na me ntumi wie nti ya hye 6 ase ya hye 2 ase if the question is not about delays na abamu the question is him fund hospitals in the sites no ye busy hospital those are the fundamental questions we need to begin to ask
but wama answer no say asase a problem man so nti
we nya asase nti omampanyi enya asase na wahebo na ordin say to me no ekura yen the citizenry What say you want to mean this war all my in the state of the nation address in COVID times. Now one Kayan country say 88 hospitals no when to mean see it's answer when yas has no Uji. Do you believe this?
Me Musa Ghana for no. So I'm
not to Ghana was sensible. Going forward, apart from the 88 hospitals, remember the NHIS issues.
Okay.
If you've hosted several shows from beginning till end, MPP ni bang, and a wabet now show so da. I catch you say a car health insurance adepa. MPP ni bang.
Or say a car or
adepa. Almost say a car or yadepa. And I'm wa. And inti ye the NDC for which say ye the car Emma. Okay, tamna ye capitation in ye take just to ensure that we sustain the NHIS. We explain severally on one tier and NHIS a cow of one as a canny. According to the Minister of Finance, one can say a cow of one enemy. A cow Aramwa. That aside, let's come to the issue of vaccine. And they're very important. Last week or last 2 weeks, I even made remarks, Keke. Not too serious. Say, hey, into a grow where I be. Would you say, MPP of my de bia person kuminya person kunya e draw be do krom ha. Would you say yen na be be e yusu. I made this remark. I think it was I made anything I make it was just a remark.
Okay.
It was just a remark. So only American. But and listening to what the Minister of Health designates. It is going to be like that. I will not have any doubt. Because if you have 20,000 and I also 30,000 doses,
355,000
doses against 20 million to 30 million people, certainly ebinya, anamwa. By that means,
maybe I'm not in faces.
Oh, I don't have any problem.
Because even in America, Crown said Joe Biden buy or say the 100 day no, or I'm saying 100,000 people, no 1 million people, no more.
And they will be specific. 1 million people in there. Or back Ghana, you can cover that. Nanzena Takra, they so Erazy, Western region. It is Accra, Ashanti region, Greater Accra, Namwa. So when you start zeroing, it is very reasonable that you start zeroing in this area to ensure say it is reasonable. Be our yes, but ye na say you do not answer. Na yentumi ankyere yen na Ghana fo no yetua taxes yen tax and e disika no urban eduro no urban no criteria ben and obi use one ma we enya menya. I don't have any problem.
But have you asked
well
maybe you could say the criteria will be there because Ghana vaccination that cholera polio near the more baby there's no discrimination. The other now suspect say there may be discrimination.
Polio vaccines etimeba may be car ama afefu from your to training foforo answer the akowo nkwala polio vaccine.
I'm not aware of that.
Me na make the childhood killer diseases, you know, na vaccines, you know.
5-in-1 vaccines, so I'm friend 5-in-1.
Correct. Ghana Health Services the back. Am be anya be omo kra na omo ko pa man for chow say one farm man mbra. But that is not the same with this COVID edroya ebe serve about 10% of the population. It is not the same. Now after the characteristics are MPP for no omo penny for identity. For all this was say,
do you think that those characteristics now who show no who fear say betimi aba it will affect a major national issue like vaccination?
If you were COVID na Ghana for nyina ye yi wo sika taxes say yemfa mbo ehiafo no a yama wo lockdown wo ntumi nkɔ ejuma obi wo ha ko bands we didi na eno so yakɔte chama party for what should tell you say vaccines I know na be save life no ebi mo fa ma wo party for nja ebi what should convince you?
You have evidence here chama party for COVID sika na chama party for.
I have the evidence.
Who ni I don't have that evidence.
Say MPP for kase COVID sika no aye cheche no a ebi munya ye ebi munya me say ebi munya ye kwa ebi munya adane ntokwa e wo krom wante
omo de ama party for
and na say it even me say yes say Ministry of Gender kra no a also omo be dua aduane why mo na dua aduane why mo na dua aduane
I don't know omo
party for na dua I know into America no I know party for na dua aduane
I see.
Women organize a city job, but I know because I am telling you as I speak to you, party for only be ever told no man will me ho.
Okay, and I'm the koye eduane.
Okay. Do you understand? Every beto will me ho eduane no am koto some of the things I sell.
But they have won the contract legitimately, so almost omo no eduane dada. And on my quackji say NDC never power, and NDC my contract say no eduane. Now your party ban or ye eduane dada. Maybe obey your contract. She may have a bit of basement so a party, but we winning contract legitimately.
No problem. You're good. What we need
The
contract.
point is whether or ye eduane no poma and crop for
I made the point I made person make I base my argument on the fact to say a drone a bebana and also be so saban we say wo mo be pepere yo na wo mo hia no wo mo enya na mo ankoye pese me nkuminya esan say covid asem no ba ye na ye nu aduan party for na nu aduan no. You didn't know, say party for now because of the meaning.
I don't have evidence. I don't want to.
Even with evidence, because if you be told idea what me ho, party for. So I have that evidence. That's why my fear is. So when cry to many I'm a party for. So will be many other things. But all in all, Minister no seems to be like he's going back to office. But there are many questions unanswered.
Okay.
There are many questions unanswered. And you see, it is high time, sir, you better make due diligence on many of these issues because Parliament and Kasa, if your man come and show to write a petition, it's not a joke.
I will call election petition as well.
Debbie, I will vetting or muy.
Vetting, okay.
It's not an easy thing. You have to check also on your fact. Find ways to send it and get all the appropriate contents in your copy. So that your petition will be addressed. So if somebody goes through all this hell, no be some question now we just also okay make a drink one about that be obi better now will be if you are doing one about there I know say parliament to me
push they are the representatives of people
correct me nia back beside say 150 na ye ji wo e friend say airport say ye be COVID-19 test na sika ne do so waka wasem do fu ene you see ECOWAS akabum am almost say ECOWAS nationals no my ma omuntu asa 150 obi a g 50-50 enti yen ko g 50 and people made this argument say no problem be g 50 beba say sika no akodi obi say
but ye wrap up on that
I'm wrapping up on that
because hang on mama show pictures then omo kokot ni mesa na nanti akoko
so sika no akofem every muba and then your minister of health that is the most the loudest statement why you say onim one more airport or okay. I mean it is strong. Why minister that is what he said in the event yesterday. He doesn't know.
Okay.
Onimo.
And that is bad. Onim company no omo jisika no.
Because
even I have complained about $150.
Minister is onimo.
Between last year and this year, me tua 150 this and it year me ya check bibia seriously. I'm checking me kwa me US I checked say utua sika no na wo US I say utua no online class na we do Ghana. There's a $6
percentage
deduction to the receiving bank away US no this can. And I'm saying but this is waste of money because $6 are multiplied by all the amount of money I to passengers since you be airport will be at you. But in Kietiano Ghana director, there's no foreign bank that will be taking a percentage.
Correct.
That money is just going free. I came on there, I came to us say we need to understand 150 no distribution you're saying. Partner banks no charges no saying. Bank na Ghana and any charges because the bank is sitting in the airport. When him say, yeah, I'm the first Allied Bank who said they have a branch in the airport.
Yeah,
we see play money and printing woods. And I'm saying,
correct.
This is easy money that you are making. But
easy money, you be such a minister no I the duty. What's one more?
It may have come above and let me give you an example under NDC airport, Temaport. There was a contract. Blue West Blue. The contract was signed at Jubilee. The supervising ministry was not aware of that, signing. It was signed at Jubilee.
Which contract is that?
West Blue. West Blue.
West Blue, a contract, baby. I work with the Ministry of Trade and Industry.
West Blue. 1%. They were supposed to do under a GCNet. There was it was a GCNet system. No, there were things that were found that
we have
limitations with the GCNet system.
Destination inspection job na companies bebre
including
and ayi Adekye ni nyina
ko ba Unipass
that's what I'm saying.
Before Unipass West Blue was given a contract to synchronize between GCNet. I'll check that for you. But that contract was
I will not take it there. I will not take it there because as I speak,
oh, you don't need to take it. I have the letters.
As we speak here, I have worked with the Ministry of Trade and Industry. I was there. The transition between the transition between the destination inspection company to West Blue. I was there. I saw it all.
Were you working with them? Cotegna?
No. No, but they work under us. I was at the ministry when Cotegna was a destination.
That's not the issue. I'm just giving you an example of
that example should be proven to me. Because
when you ask, when you said the first,
you make specific reference to a contract that you know.
Let's move
on. And I'm saying which one is the contract?
Mr. Kwakwa
I believe sir. I don't pay. I
like Nazir. Yes, I'm not.
Vetting committee number so. We have ever heard there now. And honorable Osei Waduchum.
Yeah.
Education designate. It's one of the reasons why I'm in town. Region. Penufo Mufuru, honorable Kanda Parkway. Fatasi Beta Umachi as a party from the region. Now, me this and Ghana forward Rishimu honorable Waduchum and Edunusunu. I
think Honorable Educhum say I've heard even people NDC from even NDC who praise his job. And the communication skills and
no.
Everyone criticizing him, but I think that he's a very good year. Even NDC people, Matisse or Mabonabaso.
Good eye opener. Be a non come so that.
Oh no, I
just want to.
They've criticized him, but he's they've also praised him.
I wish him well. I know he's going to deliver. If you are Ghana Health Insurance, it will act.
No, yeah, vetting, no.
Oh, yeah, vetting. So that is where I'm going. Health Insurance Act. Obi a on kai on kokai. So health insurance, me say health insurance the car. So all supply services and February. Now me in Pia kind health insurance for any them because almost 3 months say. Also me 2 claims I did 3 months process claims. Beyond the 3 months, sometimes they did to me by because not just a bit me akasa for this connection. No nim no nkosia. And no minister na say to the best of his knowledge, health insurance for 2 claims abesi August 2020. So the person come at T40 and said then in effect December 2020, January 2021 probably. And only a car health insurance there. Omunya MPA waiting tea. It be a young fanco car, but no crying car, but from September, October, November. And no palm of the car as a sumutia. Your casa NDC for your car to health insurance. A man from family to remember your health insurance, May 2017, basic December 2018. As a district manager. John Mahama as a president in this country. If you so be our turn in Ghana in 2016. Now we are back to home from January 1st, 2016. It was December 31st, 2016. December 31st, January 1st to December, all the 365 days. VAT krana na utia health insurance levy also. John Mahama near this for the jail. Our man pia claims 1 day. Claims the whole of 2016 woman pia 1 day. Now do danko akufo do be di ade no. Then he organized and started paying those claims from me when I had assumed office as a district manager of health insurance. And until I never forgot that I got to say no I guess the idea obey the health insurance. Now that the woman no na or ajima manu be wa managing and Ghana for health insurance get us so. Yam I think say the details of an ML course we am fan cover baby na COVID abana ye chedwan na wo na siru ato han nim so NDC ni. Enti se me mama MP.
He hasn't hidden that.
Wo de wunti na mama MP ketra contract so nko no aduane. Na one na timante monim so NDC ni instead so kwa akoto MPP ni mu no. Wa beto mo no wo ho. Enti se wo de etimi to mo ma unya mfa so MPP ni a ono aduane, ono aduane a sabe ono free wiem na beto fo. What is this double standards? Wo NDC ni wo ne ma wo ton no. Ya beto bi akono akobi aduane you think it's fair? because I know the
point was making is what other na party for
besides it is even wrong.
Other na ma kwa mo bi kasa ya. Please allow me to talk. Want to say program we are saying e na kasa you.
When omo beto adie. I borrowed it for them. I said to help them.
Borrow or not, it's still a contract.
To help them.
Please allow let's do the program. I don't see how to ade we Ghana ni. Na se obi koto ade won hwe so MPP no NDC ni ato ade ayeto no. Eno na efre no man chechire. Eno te se ma contract obi kono do na the friend say enka wo de wo fie bi a wo yere. Wo ton ne ma no NDC en san fa me no yere no ya fa ma ne ntia ne sare a obi a politically biased. No me say
that's the fear.
Me say na ni susu yemu no. Ya fa ma ne so onko cheche man NDC women organizers into a friend say e biased. Me friend say nye fair because what the dancer say wo NDC ni a wonya ndisi ni asabe wo de teta nipa ni mu okura na MPP fo na wo kase de adwuma mom timi beto ne ma wo ho etimi so ma na echeche nyina na echeche enkrofo
ngi ade na contract be ko MPP
nobody na one general
say the other Ghanaians so
mo ya afia edo se anu aduane na wo tu ho ya bia obi anim se wo do friends only party na so anko be de so betimi anu aduane ni a chesu UTV station say ja news kan ko no aduane
ase wo betimi ayi
da bi ya for what
no aduane a
da bi hwan anim yenim so ka news meboa but ebi so na wo catering unti ebi so na wo catering service wo ba bi but sa adwuma no wo kon no so be bi onim say covid ba e tama na e che aduane tama na Ghana ehu sa be na obi ade na yire ne mahye dem and those people who are contracted to cook the food no o mo na no mu pia bonten wo hye dem no mu pie enyu obi ana na e ready say sa risk na krobetiki enu nti du ba bi a ye betra na ade bi a enka ye mfa de say ku ne mfa ba bi de say nya me friend say nkoye da be na mo ba power school feeding caterers o mo say don e de na ma say don ye popular in Ghana the late because mo ba ye 2009 school feeding am fa ma ko for the buy caterers ni na mo yi o ma de so mo MPP for na say don di o ba nim do mo court me ba enu nti wo de mo nkro for ye nipa che school feeding caterers o mo na ye covid de
yan go back to the vetting committee
me Supreme Court ka say kan wo bebrika enu minister no I think say odi no kre bebre ebra obebusa no question wonim no aka acho say e be my simple answer is no minim idea onim a onim
as a supervising minister
no onim a onim task force no I manage covid no security for nyina aka ho bi erutu de ne kwatra na azumu say questions ni nyina no pressure wo covid management no onim a e be a entro na apeso otwa eno ntumi gidi say no a oyade ensama ebusa no dodo ni nyina no kire sampa de ya ye de enyeye aban hyehyɛ ye de be ya ahe se aban peso ye projects ni nya asase nya nwanwa prebebira ba boko mimi krum asante mampo a 2008 African Cup and Ghana be host to President Kofoka so be see one of the training pitches so asase de maye no abusuan bi sore se wo mo de atweman so park ne ye nya so what you say eno nti edu ba bi a friends ade no nsa aka before you are aware litigation wo we lawyer kakra wo ba me ba obogun say nkakra nya de wo pen na obenya
but the point no making to say as a minister wo na wo team ministry so and in a major decision like COVID it was a major issue na ye pandemic ye take decision say ye jisika e wo port because ye call lockdown for a while and then president ye say okay ye jisika now also company na ekuta adwuma no you don't know what
or say
and no ka say so kakra
obusa no question say minim say wo tie kwa say o ya wo set time ye de adwuma na ma wo mo no no mo register ye na nche no so onim.
Oh, but how?
Oh, Dabi.
But is that
yes,
also all
yes.
right?
You take immediate and so many decisions are taken in the management. Yeah, how? We are saying now.
Okay.
You take under very intense conditions. And yeah, they solve problems. Abra so trauma Ghana for one and Robert number catch them say. Now you do process and if you can this will be your pusher in discussing the same issue.
Okay.
What I said to you,
so you think it's fair?
Oh, it's not fair. What say? Baby, I need here.
My main kind of for say, which I say show video from Supreme Court on the election petition or to us one pay. It earlier you show you na electoral commissioner no James and Antiako court on to proceedings in best at your cross over to see na yakwa kwhwe de ekoso e court on whether or not ruling no the be man beka say electoral commission en kugina Adaka Nsroma evidence and I say on beka say electoral commission still a onyina baby a ogina anti e be come very soon say producer am I indication anti pacho for our no
anti yan cover sense no so another minister I said 355,000 from Europe. That means from one quarters. And yet, the president Ankasa ne kasa okache say expected by May. You bet me I reach the 20 million. Ghanaians say person more bus.
President Kasa.
Okay. And when we from one angle be a yenya. On that verse and who bet me a kreska so nanya binto because it has now become the hottest commodity in the market globally. Na there ba kwa me mesre on say nipa be kura start security news. Verse ne ba me enye. Verse ne ba me enye. Adan a obi
Ghana for the pesa de no kra do.
Vaccine dia yare. Obi a wonim vaccine yare. Vaccine de aboa no okoso yare no. Any atwe ne hunsuo ne de aye yare na yare no in this form say what can brofun e beka say be weakened or attenuated. What na ho de so say ko body ma. The natural organism ne be ye no. We no kwa wontumi nya na emom ne hunsuo no. Aye friend antigen ne de ko body no body no betumi detect. No aka say ayare we yaba. E ba ne sa pa no prepare soldier for. A mo ne sa ayare ne beko. E no ne friend immunity. Eno nti de dikaz ente say yare no a ya ma na ho den so ate. Said the TB no say we are seeing na agitum say yenya vaccine me ni say we are say for no a mo vaccine be in other countries no ye kwaje the same vaccine ba Ghana for the bekun enti obi asa de na dika ba na tuma manamra fom e bio 355,000 nim say ye woni pa ye from vulnerable groups e wo ma we mu as see I nim say so ko hospital o kwai o ba bia pressure for kwaje do yo ba bia diabetes for kwaje do mo heart attack. I want to believe say minister na say o ko Ghana Health Service for center in charge of immunization, and I believe that updates adequately. They will tell us then people like medical vaccine. I shall say, I believe it might start from those people.
Frontline workers, but his concern was fear. Say, yeah, mumbe bubu ne thought so. Okay, be a ma MPP for me.
Ayana there. Yes, uchiche ni peti bi ano oda ya. Now who's in the komuda ho na yam hyehyem. What you say? Hey, omusu. Hey, omusu. Yeah, MPP for. There's not a single day yeah MPP for. I am yeah banyachi. Yeah MPP for because me youth organizer. The kind of nema me fam. No, na say wo na boy to me can party for. Yeah boy penny for because the nema me fam as a youth organizer to satisfy the youth of my region. I'm a person me minya no NDC timer. You about catch us NDC for and come there ma.
Okay.
You got it. Now one of the questions that the minister face. Oh, when I say, was a nurse teacher for nurse for doctors or Ghana doctors about 82%. What I say? Opposed to be nurse in now. What the no cover be at? I dear why you are my party in a necessary and reposting. What I say, me, the only one to Amoba and the Domo for the Ama in Kranukumasama. Now, me party for the one person almost satisfied every other facility in Ghana. It is our reposting, me quiet your mammy. That is the reason why we MPP youth agitate. Okay. So I the NDC for by any moment. But I enter some more.
NDC for
because they don't think about the country.
Yes, you can't translate that.
As I'm not
but you can see about Supreme Court as a producer see young court and the court no the ruling young Supreme Court on your culture the course of one except for Adekye Nsroma your Supreme Court a culture election petition no.
Refused to adduce evidence in this petition. The grounds upon which counsel for the petitioner opposed the petitioner's decision not to adduce evidence are that they have both elected to adduce. Respondent's decision not to adduce evidence are that they have both elected to adduce evidence in that they have filed and served witness statements as ordered by the court. Counsel for the petitioner argued further that the first respondent in particular, besides filing an answer to the petition, has also specifically deposed to an affidavit in opposition to an application to serve interlocutories in which the chairperson indicated her availability for cross-examination. Finally, it was contended by counsel for the petitioner that the first respondent chairperson performs a very important constitutional function and as such must be made to adduce evidence in his petition to account for his stewardship to the people of Ghana. In their submission before the court, Counsel for respondent, particularly for the first respondent, sought to rely on Order 36, Rule 4, Sub 3 of CR 47 and Order 38, Rule 8E of CR 87. We have carefully examined the above rules and our opinion that the provision that is relevant in the determination of this issue is Order 38, Rule 3E of CI 87, which specifically deals with the use of witness statements in civil trials. We deem this rule to be crucial in view of the position taken by counsel for the petitioner, among others, that the filing and service of a witness statement connotes that a party has elected to adduce evidence at the trial. We recall that the filing and service of witness statement in this case was in compliance with an order of this court as part of the pre-trial protocols before trial commenced. It is also an undisputed fact that a defendant in a case can elect whether or not to adduce evidence at the close of plaintiff's case when such a defendant is called upon by the court to open his or her defense. We are of the considered opinion that it would be wrong in law to hold that a party is deemed to have elected to adduce evidence as soon as that party files and serves a witness statement in compliance with the court order. To hold so would mean that once a party files and serves a witness statement, that party mandatorily has to mount the witness box and adduce evidence at the trial. This position is not borne out of the rules. Indeed, Order 38 Rule 3E sub Rule 5 clearly provides otherwise as follows, quote, if a party who has served a witness statement does not call the witness to give evidence at the trial or put the witness statement in as hearsay evidence, any other party may put the witness statement in as hearsay evidence, end of quote. The above rule implies that when a witness statement is filed and served, the party who files it may choose not to give evidence at the trial. The principle is the same in viva voce evidence, where a party or witness who mounts the witness box testifies in chief and fails to turn up for cross-examination. Such a witness cannot be compelled by the court to appear for cross-examination. He suffers the penalty of the evidence being expunged from the record. This is exactly the position the respondent 2002 Ghana Report 402. The first respondent is not subject to any different rules of procedure because it is a constitutional body. The evidential burden imposed by law on a person seeking to challenge the presidential election results has been settled by this court in the 2013 election petition case entitled Akufo-Addo and others versus Mahama and another 2013 Supreme Court of Ghana Law Report Special Edition, page 73. Thank you. After citing with approval several decisions of courts in some Commonwealth countries, notably Nigeria, Uganda, Kenya, and Canada, Ebina JSC concluded at page 218 thus, quote, accordingly, the petitioner bear the burden of proof to establish not only that there were violations, omissions, malpractices, and irregularities in the conduct of the presidential election held on 7th and 8th December 2012, but also that the said violations, omissions, malpractices, and irregularities, if any, affected the result of the election. It is after the petitioners have established the foregoing that the burden shifts to the respondent to establish that the results were not affected. The threshold of proof should, in principle, be above the balance of probability. We have started the JSC's dictum to drive home the legal proposition that the petitioner in an election dispute stands or falls on the strength of his or her own case and never on the weakness or otherwise of the evidence of the respondents. Counsel for the petitioner cited to us the case of Smala Biabia versus Ademu Dramani and Attorney General number 4, 2012, one Supreme Court of Ghana Law Report, page 374, in which this court ordered a party to adduce evidence because that party had already adduced evidence in the form of an affidavit. That case is distinct from what is before us now, and it must be read in its context relative to the facts before the court then. In that case, this court was dealing with the submission of no case in a trial admitting affidavit evidence, unlike the current petition, where this court is dealing with witness statements which are unsworn and are not yet evidence. Indeed, the distinction between that case and the current case is clearly demonstrated in the ruling of Dr. Ndatiban JSC, who delivered the ruling of the court at page 357 of the report, the learned jurist delivered himself as follows, quote, "It is the unanimous view of this court that the first defendant, Adamu Dramani, should be called upon to open his defense in the interest of justice. This case does not have the ordinary characteristics of a trial," said the High Court. "The procedure before this court is such that before the commencement of oral testimony in this case, the first defendant had already put matters in evidence by affidavit. In this circumstance, it is artificial and hardly sustainable to disregard the evidence already adduced by the affidavit of the first defendant and proceed to an assessment of a no-case submission made on his behalf, as if the evidence on record is that of the plaintiff." End of quote. The distinction here is that in the petition before us, the first respondent has not put before us any evidence in the form of an affidavit or otherwise. As already stated, learned counsel for the petitioner only referred us to an affidavit deposed to by the chairperson of the first respondent in opposition to an interlocutory application to serve interrogatories. That affidavit is not evidence in this petition to enable us compare the first respondent to mount the witness box to be cross-examined. The Smile Abiyabe case is clearly distinguishable on the facts and the law. Now, besides the rules referred to in this ruling, we take notice of the well-settled practice that a plaintiff in a case has a right, that a defendant in a case has a right not to adduce evidence after the close of a plaintiff's case. This right, which originates from the common law, has been incorporated into several trials in our jurisdiction through case law and has been applied in several cases in our courts. The general principle of law is that a party cannot be compelled to adduce evidence in a trial. In this direction, we intend to refer to some cases on this principle of law. In Nyamecha vs. Ansan, 1989-92 Ghana Law Report, page 152, Court of Appeal, and PRJ, as it then was, delivered at page 155, that's, quote, "The plaintiff contended that since the first defendant did not give evidence, judgment should have been entered against him. I do not agree. A party to an action need not give evidence himself. A party to an action needs not give evidence himself. Provided he can adduce evidence of some sort from other sources, the court would have to look at that evidence in considering the totality of the evidence before it." In Baron vs. Labi, 1962, one Ghana Report 168, in the practice note, Olenuji then was delivered himself as follows, quote, "A party to a suit is not bound to give evidence, and the court cannot compel him to give evidence if he does not want to. And if a party, having gone into the witness box and sworn or affirmed, elects to give no evidence, his opponent is not obliged to cross-examine him. This procedure, therefore, is not irregular and cannot vitiate the proceedings and the judgment in the case." End of quote. In Tai and another versus FIBA International, 2017-2018, 2 Supreme Court Ghana Law Report 906 at 919, Foreman JSC opined as follows, quote, "It must be remembered that the fact that a defendant does not appear to contest a case does not mean that the plaintiff will be granted all that he asks for by the court. The rule in civil cases is that he who alleges must prove on the balance of probabilities, and the burden is not lightened by the absence of the defendant at the trial. The absence of the defendant will aid the plaintiff only when he introduces sufficient evidence to establish a prima facie case of entitlement to his claim." End of quote. In Ama vs. Hydroform Estate Limited, 2013-2014, 2 Supreme Court of Ghana Law Report 1551 at 1567, which was cited to us by counsel for respondent Benny JSC, held as, quote, "A court has no duty to call upon any party to testify in the case. The courts act as an umpire and only hears such evidence as the parties will prefer. Whether the parties will testify or not is none of the court's business. Indeed, a court will insist that the party should testify will amount to the judge descending into the arena of conflict. After determining the tribal issues, the trial court leaves the field clear for the parties themselves to decide who will testify. We know of no law or rule which entitles a court to call upon a party to testify in the action. If such a law or rule does, we would venture to say that it is inapplicable under legal dispensation." End of quote. Finally, we refer to the case of the Society of Lawyers versus Sir William Otto Jeffrey, BT 2000 Queensborough Division Commercial Court, which on the facts is similar in terms of procedure with the current case before us, inserted by counsel for the second respondent. In that case, all the witnesses had served their witness statements in accordance with pre-trial directions under the civil procedure rules, but lawyers had decided not to call them to testify at the trial. An application was made to the court for an order requiring the opposing party to call the witnesses at the trial so that the applicant could cross-examine them. Creswell J. held that in civil proceedings, the trial judge had no power to dictate to a litigant what evidence he or she should tender. There was no obligation to call witnesses. It was counsel's duty to decide what evidence was called and the order in which it was called. The instant court had no jurisdiction to make the order sought. The law is therefore settled that a party will not be compelled to enter the witness box and testify in support of his or her case. It is a risk parties who decline to give evidence take, knowing perfectly well that the court will be left with no option but to proceed with the available evidence before it. Counsel for the petitioner has strongly submitted to us that we should not apply the Society of Laws case to the peculiar facts of this petition because the first respondent, being a constitutional body, with defined responsibilities must be brought before this court to be cross-examined as a way of accounting to the people of this country for its stewardship. The Society of Laws case, like this petition, also deals with witnesses who have served witness statements and have decided not to give evidence to be cross-examined. We are mandated to state that our jurisdiction invoked in this election petition is a limited jurisdiction clearly circumscribed by law. We do not intend to extend our mandate beyond what the law requires of us in such petitions brought under Article 64 Clause 1, challenging the validity of the election of a president. Simply put, we are not convinced and will not yield to the invitation being extended to us by counsel for the petitioner to order the respondent to enter the witness box to be cross-examined. Accordingly, we hereby overrule the objection raised by counsel for the petitioner against the decision of the respondents declining to adduce evidence in this petition.
As the court pleases. We are most grateful to the court. And also we are most grateful.
Please, you will rise for about 20 minutes.
My Lord, yes. Respectfully, before you rise, I think I ought to notify your Lordship that we will now seek your Lordship's permission to reopen our case in order to have a subpoena on the chairperson of the Electoral Commission. Now, my Lords, we know that we can issue a subpoena without leave, but since we have closed our case on the assumption that she would be, so we intend to file a formal motion.
Counsel, it's a court of record, so like you correctly pointed out, you come by your form, you'll be heard.
Very well.
Yes, but you come back and give directions for the further trial.